Okay.
Great. All right, everybody, before we start our meeting today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself to the camera for when I post this presentation to YouTube. My name is Nick Williams. I'm the health education teacher here at Rockcastle County Middle School. I teach 6th through 8th grade students. This is my 5th year teaching here at the middle school. For this presentation today in the meeting, I'm going to be going over my signature assessment that I did for my EDOL 647 class at the University of the Cumberlands. Which basically highlight for this project, what I've had to do is think of an issue that I've been having in my classes and try to implement an intervention that could help that issue improve. Here's just a basic table of contents, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order here. I'll be going over the agenda for the meeting, highlight my vision statement, not necessarily for this presentation, but my overall vision statement for what I would like to achieve on a daily basis and throughout my career as an educator here at the middle school. I'll go over my problem statement for what the issue was in my class, and then I will outline my strategy for and intervention plan for trying to overcome the issue. In slides 8 and 9, I will present my data in graph form, then go over any trends that I noticed throughout the while examining the data. I'll also present a second intervention that I haven't completely finished for this project just yet, but I'm going to continue to work on that in the future throughout the rest of this school year and next school year and school years after that. Then at the end, I will go over reflection, next steps, and conclusion. In slide 12, there's a YouTube link which I will upload at the conclusion of this meeting to YouTube, this video. Okay, here will be our meeting agenda, which I'll basically just outline, going over the vision statement. I'm going to discuss the problem. One thing I will focus on this presentation is going to be focused on the differences between formative and summative assessments, and more specifically how they relate to student achievement. And I will talk about what the findings I have found in my classroom with that. Okay, so my vision statement as a teacher and as a teacher leader here at Rockcastle County Middle School is that each day I want to try to create a positive learning environment that provides students with the essential tools to succeed personally and academically. So in my classroom, I want my students to feel comfortable being themselves, to feel comfortable with me, to where they can ask questions, to where they feel comfortable interacting with their peers, and to enhance their learning. Then additionally, outside of my classroom and more throughout our building here and in my school district, I want to embody an open mindset that encourages the exchange of ideas through collaborations amongst staff members. I think this is a great way to learn. You know, all the members in our school have had opportunity to participate in different PDs, have tried different things in their classrooms, but we can't learn from those if we're not open to sharing ideas with one another. So I think this is a great way that we can help improve our school within years to come. So my problem statement for this project. In my classroom, this is my 5th year teaching, as I said, I found that many students are failing to demonstrate proficiency on my assessments of the standards and targets addressed. So as I go through my units, students seem to do well on the assignments. However, when I give them the summative assessment at the end of the unit, it doesn't seem that what they're able to demonstrate in terms of proficiency on that test is adding up to how well they did on the assignments throughout the unit. Meaning that maybe going into assessment, I'm maybe thinking that I'm going to have some students get B's and A's and they might get a low B or C, or a class average. I might think maybe a mid to high C or a B average, and it might come out as a low C, maybe even a D average on some occasions, which has kind of left me perplexed, wondering, what can I do to help change this and set my students up for success. So as stated here, students are able to successfully complete the assignments throughout the unit, but for whatever reason, they seem to struggle to demonstrate their proficiency on the summative assessment. So my strategy, students will demonstrate improved academic achievement by completing formative assessments that measure knowledge proficiency as they're exposed to new content. This is in contrast to previously implementing a large summative assessment at the conclusion of a unit of study that measures knowledge proficiency of all content addressed. Here's my intervention plan. So as stated, in the past I have done one large assessment. So for this body systems unit that this study was done on, that test consisted of between 40 to 50 questions, which is a lot of material. It's a lot to ask of the kids. So what I've found myself asking is, is it something I'm doing that's setting up my kids up for failure instead of success? So for this project, I'm going to implement formative assessments instead of summative assessments, which what that means is as we go through the unit and cover each body systems, students will have smaller assessments as we go throughout the unit, as opposed to just one big test at the end. Says prior research has shown that implementing formative assessments and providing constructive feedback on those assessments enhances learning. Additionally, motivation, learner autonomy are promoted, which at the bottom here, the reference I have from Dixon and Ecclestone, that statement is coming from a study that they conducted in 2003 on the potential benefits of formative assessment in general practice education. Based on these findings, students in my classroom will complete formative assessments in the form of oral discussions, quizzes, and short answer responses as we address targets throughout our body systems unit. So what that means is the first body system we cover is the skeletal system. After we go over the information that the kids need, then we may have a multiple choice quiz that the kids will complete, and then anything where they need to demonstrate understanding or comprehension or critical thinking skills, they may have a short answer response that they will complete with that. And after each body system, we will do this. And I will also, these are formative assessments. I'll also, as we're going through this, circulate throughout the room and conduct informal ones as well. Students will be provided prompt and individualized feedback and then given an opportunity to re-examine any content that they have not demonstrated proficiency on. So after the students are given each formative assessment, I don't just move on. If a kid struggles, if they're not able to demonstrate proficiency, then I don't just leave them behind. They will have the opportunity to re-examine any targets or standards that they struggle with. Then the students will be given another opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge proficiency over the content and having the opportunity to go back, review that material, restudy it, clear up any misconceptions they had, ask me questions, ask their peers questions, should greatly increase their chances of demonstrating proficiency that second time around. So here's the data analysis after I conducted this study. This study I didn't say previously was conducted with my 8th grade students that I had. And this body systems unit will last, normally I can do a body system within a week. So this lasts close to a month here. If you look at the pre-assessment results, which the pre-assessment was just the one large assessment that consists of 40 to 50 multiple choice questions. And they were, with the body systems, for each one they had to label certain parts of each system, then they had questions to check their comprehension of the functions of each system. You can see here by examining this the graph on the left of the pre-assessment results that with the intervention group and the non-intervention group, their scores and results were very comparative. Neither one was just excelled over the other throughout the body systems. However, when you come over here to the post-assessment results, you can see that the intervention group, which is in the red, on every body system, dramatically performed better than the non-intervention group. On there, you can also determine that as well, both groups, non-intervention and intervention group, the positive to take away, regardless of the formative assessment or summative assessment aversion, all kids did improve. The non-intervention group, they just did the traditional summative assessment. They had the pre-assessment, that was the large test. We went through the units, had our individual lessons, our activities. Then for the post-assessment, they completed the same pre-assessment form to see how much they improved. The intervention group, they did the large pre-assessment, and then instead of waiting a month to take the large assessment again. After we covered each body system, they had individual formative assessments that we went over with. And one thing I do want to add that I didn't say on the last slide that was found in that study is that for formative assessments to be effective, it's crucial to provide immediate, effective feedback, constructive feedback to the students as well. If the feedback isn't provided or students don't understand what their misconceptions were, then it's going to be practically impossible for them to improve because they don't know where they need to improve. Proficiency was set at 80% for this, which is the start of a B average here at Rockcastle County Middle School on there. And the rest of these bullets here is what I said on the previous slide while going over the graphs. Intervention number 2. So even though I did notice doing the formative assessments that the students did improve, there's still many things that I need to change in my classroom to continue to help my students be successful. And one of those things that I haven't been able to collect the data on yet, but I am in the process of implementing it, is trying to incorporate more active learning opportunities into my classroom. Active learning opportunities, have been proven to create authentic learning experiences for students, which should help them value the learning process. In my classroom, the active learning opportunities that I will incorporate will include the small group discussions, projects, hands-on activities, and experiments. In addition to increasing student motivation and achievement, it is my aim for these that knowledge retention will also be increased amongst my students. So not only do I want them just to be successful when I assess their knowledge on a unit, if I come back to them a month later and ask them a question or another series of questions, I would like for their knowledge retention to be increased to where they remember the material. They can recall upon it in the future when they need it. My reflection next steps. So as I stated, in the early stages of the intervention, implementing more formative assessments shown to increase student achievement. My next steps will include, I need to continue implementing the formative assessments. I'm going to work to improve my assessment strategies every year when we're asked here at the school to come up with, for our professional growth plan, an area that we can improve on. This is one that I select, and I'm aware of it, and I need to improve on how I write assessments, making sure that my assessments are correctly aligned with targets and standards on there. And that's why I chose this, because I really felt that the poor results I've seen in the past, isn't necessarily a reflection of my students' knowledge level, that's more a reflection of myself as a teacher. I'm going to try to create authentic learning experiences with the active learning opportunities, and then I'm going to continue striving to create a positive learning environment where my students feel comfortable and empowered to reach success academically and personally. And this is where I'll post my YouTube link. And lastly, conclusions. As an educator, it is crucial for me to employ effective assessment strategies so I can accurately determine my students' achievement levels. The intervention implemented for this project has helped me take a step in that direction, but I still have a long way to go. Formative assessments have helped my students improve their achievement while providing me with an accurate representation of knowledge they gained. And lastly, as a teacher leader, I will share the results of my action plan with my colleagues, which is what I'm doing right now with you all. And I'll also share it outside of this meeting with other people in hopes of transforming the way we assess our students here at Rockcastle County Middle School. And that's the end of my presentation.